The world is brimming with mysteries waiting to be uncovered. Ancient creations, visible only from the sky, whose meaning remains uncertain. Architectural marvels that raise questions about how they were constructed. Some monuments still spark debates about their purpose and origin. How did they move these massive stones with prehistoric knowledge? Has that wisdom faded over time? Many of which may conceal fascinating secrets. Durapinar Archaeological Site, Noah's Ark, Turkey. The connection between Mount Ararat and biblical accounts, along with its isolation and extreme climate, has fascinated peoples for decades. According to the Bible, when the floodwaters receded, the ark came to rest on this mountain. In 1959, a Turkish pilot flying over the region spotted an elongated, pointed shape. It measures 150 meters, or 492 feet in length, matching the biblical dimensions of Noah's Ark, which was 300 cubits long. Some believe this could be the ark described in the Bible, yet most archaeologists agree it is a natural formation. Limited access and political conflicts in the area have made research difficult. Giant of Tarapacá, Chile. Located in the Atacama Desert, it is the largest anthropomorphic geoglyph in the world. It is linked to the Aymara and other pre-Columbian cultures, yet its origin and age remains uncertain. According to local legends, it represents a giant warrior, though some believe the rays on its head symbolize a divine being. Another theory suggests it served as a reference point for caravans traveling along trade routes through the desert. Heading north through this arid Chilean region, more engravings can be found. These are the Chitsa geoglyphs, featuring human figures, animals, and geometric shapes, created by cultures like the Aymara. They are thought to have been symbols intended for both travelers and the gods. Pyramids of Giza, Egypt. This monumental site is home to the pyramids of Khufu, Khafre, and Menkaure. For millennia, they have withstood earthquakes and the passage of time, showcasing extraordinary architectural mastery. Herodotus, the Greek historian, described the pyramids as tombs, based on accounts from Egyptian priests of his era. Despite modern theories, there is no consensus on how the Egyptians managed to transport and assemble millions of stone blocks with such precision. It is believed they used straight or spiral ramps to lift the blocks to the required heights. The Great Pyramid of Khufu, the largest of them all, consists of approximately 2.3 million blocks. Its construction is estimated to have taken 20 years, meaning the Egyptians moved and placed around 315 stone blocks each day. Each block, weighing between 2 and 15 tons, would have required a massive workforce. Its alignment with Orion's belt suggests a possible connection to Egyptian religious and astronomical practices. In front of Khafra's pyramid stands the Great Sphinx, a lion-shaped sculpture with a human face. Unlike the pyramids, it was not built from blocks, but carved from a natural rock formation. No ancient records detail its construction, leaving questions about its exact date and purpose. Its human head may depict Pharaoh Khafra, who ruled for 25 years. Stonehenge, United Kingdom. This site consists of a circle of massive stones with horizontal blocks, built around 5,000 years ago. From its origins, it combined burial functions with rituals linked to the sun and ancestral connections. The heaviest stones weigh up to 50 tons and were transported from Westwoods, roughly 25 kilometers or 15 miles away. How they were moved remains unknown, but theories suggest the use of logs, sleds, or ropes. It is aligned with the summer and winter solstices, likely connected to the observation of celestial events. These are colossal statues sculpted by the ancient inhabitants of Easter Island, featuring disproportionately large heads. they are mainly found along the island's coastline, seemingly linked to ancestor worship. Almost all face inland, giving the impression of guarding the villages. Some wear a pukao on top, a red hat associated with social status. Of the nearly 900 moai that exist, about half are located in Rano Raraku, an ancient volcanic crater. This was the production site, where volcanic rock was carved from the crater's walls and slopes. Hundreds of statues remain in various stages of completion, from barely outlined figures in the rock to nearly finished ones that were never transported. They appear to have been abruptly abandoned, possibly due to resource depletion or internal conflicts among clans. Lythe in Talios, United States. These enormous figures are etched into the desert landscape by clearing the dark surface layer of the ground. They depict humans and animals, created by indigenous peoples roughly 1,000 years ago. While partially visible from the ground, their full design can only be truly appreciated from the air. Their purpose remains uncertain, but they are believed to represent gods or mythical beings, possibly playing a role in ceremonies related to creation or fertility. Animal figures, geometric shapes, and symbolic designs stretch across the Nazca Desert. The Nazca culture created them around 1,500 years ago, yet their exact purpose remains a mystery. Theories suggest that they may have served as a calendar, been used in religious rituals, or functioned as ceremonial pathways. One particularly enigmatic figure is the astronaut, depicted with a raised hand and prominent eyes, possibly a spiritual leader or a message to the gods. On a sandy hillside near the Nazca lines, along Peru's southern coast, this massive symbol stands. It is linked to the Paracas culture, though no definitive evidence confirms its origin or age. Some believe it served as a landmark for ancient seafarers navigating the Pacific coast. Some of these carvings are linked to the Nazca, but most were created by the ancient Paracas and Tapara cultures. Unlike the Nazca lines, they were etched onto hillsides, making them easier to see. Human figures with distinct facial expressions and postures can be observed. This group, known as the family, features beings with large eyes, along with animals and possible mythical entities. One particular figure is believed to be an orca, often depicted with human-like arms and mythical elements by the region's ancient inhabitants. Located near Cusco, this site is a temple or fortress built by the Incas in the 15th century. Its elevated position and massive walls suggest a potential defensive role, Enormous stone blocks, some weighing up to 120 tons, were carved, fitted together, and transported from a quarry about 20 kilometers or 12 miles away. Sacsayhuaman structures have endured centuries and earthquakes, displaying a resilience greater than many modern buildings. Inca craftsmanship is also evident in a masterpiece of their stonework, the 12-angled stone, located in Cusco's historic center. It features 12 visible angles that seamlessly fit into 12 adjacent stones, all irregularly shaped, yet perfectly aligned. Chand Baori, India. Built 1,200 years ago, this stepwell takes the shape of an inverted pyramid. Thousands of steps are arranged in a mesmerizing geometric pattern. Its construction is attributed to King Chanda of the Nikumba dynasty, though no detailed records exist on how it was built or the techniques used. Designed to store water, some debate whether it also served a ritual purpose, inspired by the almost hypnotic effects of its steps. Aramu Muru Portal, Peru. A broad rectangular facade carved directly into solid rock. It has been interpreted as a pre-Inca or Inca ceremonial site, linked to spiritual and cosmic rituals. According to legend, an Inca priest used it to escape from the Spanish conquerors, employing a golden disc to open the portal. In this Ethiopian region, a series of mysterious churches have been carved into the mountains. For centuries, Ethiopia faced invasions from foreign forces, including Islamic and European armies. To safeguard them from looting and destruction, religious communities chose to build these churches in nearly inaccessible locations. Remarkably, Abuna Yamata stands perched on the cliffside. It is considered the most unreachable church in the world. Founded in the 15th century by Abuna Yamata, one of the 9 saints who introduced Christianity to Ethiopia. Reaching it requires a trek along narrow pathways beside a steep precipice. The church's walls and ceiling display 15th century paintings, depicting biblical scenes and portraits of saints. Near the site, the tombs of several saints and monks can be found. Lalibela Churches, Ethiopia. These churches were carved into solid rock during the reign of King Lalibela, intended to create a new Jerusalem. Legend says the king received divine instructions in a dream to build them as a symbol of faith and devotion. Once the exterior shape was defined, artisans began excavating the interiors, creating rooms, columns, arches, and other architectural elements. The churches are arranged to replicate Jerusalem's sacred landscapes, with tunnels and underground passages connecting them. Church of the Ark of the Covenant, Ethiopia. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church claims this temple in Aksum houses the Ark of the Covenant, along with the Ten Commandments tablets. According to legend, the Queen of Sheba traveled from Aksum to Jerusalem to meet King Solomon, drawn by his wisdom. Upon returning to her homeland, she gave birth to a son, Menelik I, who would become Ethiopia's first emperor. When Menelik reached adulthood, he journeyed to Jerusalem to meet his father, King Solomon. On his return to Ethiopia, the priests accompanying him secretly stole the Ark of the Covenant from Solomon's temple. It is said the Ark was brought to Aksum, where it has remained ever since, guarded in the Church of St. Mary of Zion. No one is allowed to see the Ark except the high priest, who appoints a successor on his deathbed. Göbekli Tepe, Turkey. At around 12,000 years old, it is recognized as one of the oldest stone complexes in the world. Once considered humanity's first temple, recent studies suggest it may have also had domestic uses. The site consisted of multiple circles, each with two larger pillars at the center and smaller ones surrounding them. It is believed that the central T-shaped pillars served as focal points during rituals. Its builders were hunter-gatherers, challenging the notion that monumental human structures only emerged with agriculture. The craftsmanship of the pillars and the quality of the carvings indicate mastery of advanced construction techniques. Engravings depict animals with symbolic meanings that remain unclear. It was active for 1,500 years, but was deliberately buried 10,000 years ago for unknown reasons, preserving it until its discovery. Crop Circles, United Kingdom. These geometric designs appear in crop fields, formed by the flattening of plants. Most documented circles are found in southern England, near ancient structures like Stonehenge and Avebury. Although often linked to extraterrestrials, nearly all are the work of pranksters or artists using wooden planks to press down the crops. It is believed that these hoaxers took inspiration from the Tully incident in Australia, where in 1966, a farmer claimed to have seen a flying object and later discovered a perfect circle on his land. Ultimately, they are widely accepted as human creations, whether as pranks or landscape art, though some still believe in a supernatural or alien origin. Hagar Queen, Malta. Maltese historian Giovanni Francesco Abela wrote in 1647 that these ruins proved Malta's earliest inhabitants were giants. Dating back 5,400 years, it is considered one of the world's oldest prehistoric monuments. The temple's layout, aligned with solar events, reveals a sophisticated understanding of astronomy. How these massive stones, some weighing up to 20 tons, were moved and precisely fitted remains unknown. Equally mysterious is the fate of this civilization, as no human remains have been found at the site. Mount Nimrut, Turkey. Located in eastern Anatolia, this monumental complex holds immense archaeological significance. King Antiochus I of Commagene built it 2,000 years ago as both a religious sanctuary and his own mausoleum, seeking to immortalize his legacy. The statues depict Greek and Iranian gods, along with lions, eagles, and King Antiochus himself. Two lions and two eagles, symbols of power, serve as guardians of the sanctuary. The heads of the statues were deliberately removed and are now scattered across the site. It is believed that the king is buried beneath the mound, yet excavations have failed to locate the burial chamber. Baalbek monoliths, Lebanon. Once known as the City of the Sun, this site contains the ruins of temples dedicated to deities such as Jupiter, Bacchus, and Venus. Originally a Phoenician sanctuary for the god Baal, it was later occupied by the Greeks and eventually by the Romans. The monoliths of Baalbek and the stones used in the Temple of Jupiter weigh between 750 and 1,700 tons, surpassing most ancient blocks. Their design does not match typical Roman architecture, leading some to believe they predate the Roman Empire's arrival. These stones may have belonged to the Phoenicians or an unknown prehistoric civilization with advanced knowledge. The methods used to cut, transport, and assemble stones of this magnitude exceed modern understanding of ancient engineering. Theories involving rollers and ramps have been proposed, though no definitive evidence explains how these colossal blocks were moved. A historic Nabatean city nestled in the Negev desert. It thrived for centuries before being abandoned, with no records explaining the reason. The Nabateans showcased remarkable adaptability to this arid environment, mastering advanced hydraulic engineering. To this day, how they achieved such precision in their techniques and secured water during extreme droughts remains a mystery. Myra, Turkey. During the Hellenistic and Roman periods, this Lycian city flourished as a major political and cultural hub. It was one of the 6 key cities of the Lycian League, considered one of the earliest federal democracies in history. Carved into the cliffs, these tombs resemble miniature temples or houses adorned with intricate reliefs. They were designed to mimic the homes of the living, as the Lycians believed in carrying their way of life into the afterlife. Church of the Holy Sepulchre, Israel. Also known as the Church of the Resurrection by Eastern Christians, it stands in the Christian quarter of Jerusalem's Old City. It is recognized as the site where Jesus of Nazareth was crucified, buried, and resurrected. Just beyond the entrance lies the Stone of Anointing, believed to be where Jesus was prepared for burial. His tomb is enclosed within a shrine known as the Edicule. Construction began in 326 AD, initiated by Emperor Constantine the Great, after identifying the sacred locations. Hellinikon Pyramid, Greece. This unusual pyramid-shaped structure remains an architectural enigma within the Greek world. Some estimates place its origins in the Mycenaean period, around 3,000 years ago, while other studies suggest a later date. Despite its uniqueness, it is barely mentioned in ancient literary sources, leaving its exact purpose unknown. Although referred to as a pyramid, It may have once had a roof, possibly serving as a military shelter or an observation post. Montserrat Monastery, Spain. Founded in the 11th century, this site is a prominent Christian pilgrimage center. It sits on a natural terrace in the mountains, surrounded by the region's distinctive rocky formations. Access is possible via a winding road with steep inclines and sharp curves. Alternatively, visitors can reach it by cable car or cogwheel train. The monastery houses the Virgin of Montserrat, known as La Moreneta, a medieval figure with a reputation for miracles. According to legend, the Knights Templar, believed to be guardians of the Holy Grail, chose this secluded location to conceal it. Over the years, the mountain has been the site of numerous UFO sightings, with gatherings led by those who claimed they could summon them. Palácio da Regaleira, Portugal. Built in the early 20th century, this estate is steeped in symbolism woven into every corner. Its design suggests a temple dedicated to knowledge and mystery, inviting visitors on an initiatory journey. The palace is filled with esoteric imagery, Templar crosses, pentagrams, and alchemical references, perhaps reflecting philosophical and mystical pursuits. The initiation well is particularly striking, spiraling downward with a 9-level staircase, often linked to the circles of hell in the Divine Comedy. Beneath the estate, a network of tunnels and passageways connects the well to various points in the garden, reinforcing the theme of a symbolic journey. Mahabalipuram, India. In the late 19th century, British archaeologist Alexander Rea began his studies on the ruins of this ancient city. It was under the control of the Pallava dynasty from the 7th century onward, though evidence suggests it was inhabited for millennia and affected by natural disasters. According to legend, 7 magnificent temples once stood here, stirring the jealousy of Indra, the god of storms. The deity caused them all to sink beneath the waves, leaving only the shore temple standing by the sea. This myth may have originated from a tsunami that devastated the coast, submerging parts of the ancient city. Indeed, after the 2004 tsunami, runes emerged that are believed to belong to the lost Mahabalipuram. The site preserves sanctuaries, rock-cut reliefs, caves, and stone-carved sculptures. Its structures are adorned with masterpieces of ancient Indian artistry. Krishna's butterball remains perfectly balanced on one of the city's hills. For some, it seems improbable that natural forces alone placed it in such a position, while others find it plausible. According to the latter view, friction prevents the boulder from sliding, with its center of gravity keeping it stable on a small surface. Belchite, Spain. This town preserves the ruins left behind by the devastation of the Spanish Civil War. Between August and September 1937, the Battle of Belchite took place as Republican forces attempted to seize the town, which was held by nationalists. The intense fighting left the area nearly completely destroyed. Instead of rebuilding, a new town was constructed nearby, while the old one was left as a silent monument to the horrors and destruction of war. Some visitors and researchers claim to have witnessed unexplained phenomena, such as echoes of battles and distant voices. There are accounts of people who say they have seen ghostly figures, soldiers and civilians wandering through the desolate streets. Ollantaytambo, Peru. Nestled in the Andes, this Inca city blends of fortress, temples, and agricultural terraces. As in other Inca settlements, massive stones were used, fitted together with astonishing precision. The terraces maximized agricultural production, a necessity in this demanding mountain environment. The mountainsides, storage buildings known as colcas were strategically placed at high elevations to better preserve food. Fatima, Portugal. Globally recognized for the reported apparitions of the Virgin that took place in 1917. 3 shepherd children claimed to have seen the Virgin Mary above a small holm oak on the 13th of each month, from May to October of that year. She was described as a young lady dressed in radiant white, with a mantle flowing down to her feet. However, the events of Fatima did not end there. On October 13, 1917, thousands gathered, awaiting the sign the children had foretold. Numerous accounts describe the sun appearing to move in a zigzag pattern, shift colors, and approach or recede from Earth unpredictably. For the Church, this was a miracle. Others attribute it to atmospheric effects, mass suggestion, or even a UFO sighting. Since 1917, people from across the globe have been drawn to the site, captivated by the miraculous events. Masada Fortress, Israel. Perched atop a cliff in the Judean desert, this stronghold stands out for its remote location and arid surroundings. Due to its isolation, it remained untouched for 13 centuries, until its rediscovery in 1828. A system was in place to collect and store rainwater in cisterns, allowing inhabitants to endure the harsh climate. 2,000 years ago, Herod the Great reinforced it as a refuge against potential uprisings, equipping it with lavish palaces. During the Great Jewish Revolt, Masada became the last stronghold of Jewish rebels against Roman forces. Gigantia Temples, Malta. Built around 5,500 years ago, these two sanctuaries were constructed with massive stone blocks, likely for fertility worship. A 1,000 years after their completion, the civilization that created them vanished abruptly. How the ancient people of Gozo managed to transport such enormous stones remains unknown. In Maltese, Gigantia means giant, referencing the belief that colossal beings were responsible for its construction. Uçhisar Castle, Turkey. Located in Cappadocia, this natural rock formation was transformed into a troglodyte city filled with tunnels, caves, and interconnected chambers. Its height and strategic position made it a crucial fortress during invasions by ancient civilizations, such as the Persians and Arabs. At its peak, an estimated 1,000 people lived within its walls. Evidence suggests it is linked to nearby underground cities, like Derinkuyu and Kaimakli, providing escape routes for its inhabitants during attacks. Underground cities of Cappadocia, Turkey. For thousands of years, Derinkuyu and Kaimakli have served as shelters for the region's civilizations. Byzantine Christians used these subterranean cities to hide during invasions by enemy forces. Derinkuyu could accommodate up to 20,000 people and consists of 18 levels, though only a few are accessible today. Each level contained living quarters, food storage, water collection areas, places of worship, and spaces for livestock. Both cities feature intricate ventilation systems that ensure a steady supply of fresh air deep underground. Cuelap, Peru. Perched atop a mountain surrounded by cliffs and dense jungle, this fortified city was built by the Chachapoya culture. Its location raises questions about how the massive stone blocks used in its construction were transported. Nicknamed the Warriors of the Clouds, the Chachapoya were renowned for their expertise in building on extreme elevations and rugged terrain. The fortress walls reach up to 20 meters, or 66 feet high, reinforcing the idea that it was a significant defensive or ceremonial site. Inside these walls, hundreds of circular structures can be found, many adorned with geometric designs and symbols that remain undeciphered. Monte Albán, Mexico. Founded 2,500 years ago, this ancient Zapotec city sits atop a mountain. Astonishingly, the terrain was artificially leveled to create terraces and plazas, a remarkable achievement for a civilization without metal tools. At its peak, the city housed around 35,000 people, thriving as a diverse cultural metropolis. Monte Albán was gradually abandoned around the 9th century, possibly due to political shifts and regional conflicts. Yonaguni Structures, Japan. Off the coast of Yonaguni Island lies one of Japan's greatest mysteries. These submerged formations have been referred to as the Japanese Atlantis. Discovered by divers in 1986, they quickly sparked widespread debate. With their geometric appearance, the structures seem to be the work of human hands. various sections feature what resemble steps, along with smooth, vertical walls. Some believe they are remnants of an ancient civilization, while others argue they are natural formations. The surrounding rock formations provide evidence for those who support a natural origin. Rocamadour, France. This remarkable village clings to a rocky cliffside, with its houses and churches seamlessly built into the stone. Destroyed during the Wars of Religion in the 16th century, it was later restored, reaffirming its status as a sacred site and pilgrimage center. According to legend, Rocamadour is named after Saint Amador, a hermit who lived on the cliff, whose tomb was discovered intact centuries after his death. Among its sanctuaries, the Chapel of Our Lady stands at the top of the cliff, home to the revered Black Madonna. Teotihuacan, Mexico. The towering Pyramid of the Sun and Pyramid of the Moon are linked in this ancient city by the Avenue of the Dead. Although associated with the Teotihuacans, the lack of inscriptions make it difficult to confirm who they truly were. Astronomical alignments reveal a sophisticated understanding of cosmology and architectural precision. By the 8th century, despite its dominance and grandeur, the city was mysteriously abandoned. When the Aztecs later discovered it, they named it Teotihuacan, meaning the place where gods were born. Zaporong, China. Once the political and cultural center of the Guge Kingdom, it flourished between the 10th and 17th centuries. Its striking location is built atop a pyramid-shaped rock, connected by an intricate network of tunnels. Portuguese missionaries arrived in 1624, searching for legendary Christian cities beyond the Himalayas. Some believe that the myth of Shangri-La, a hidden and blissful kingdom, originated from Zaporong. Due to its remote setting, few archaeological excavations have been conducted. Machu Picchu, Peru. It is often said that Hiram Bingham discovered this lost city in 1911. Yet, Agustin Lizarraga, a local farmer, had already visited the ruins years earlier. Believed to have been built in the 15th century, the absence of Inca records make its true purpose uncertain. Many suggest it served as a retreat for Emperor Pachacuti following his military conquests. Situated in a mountainous and earthquake-prone region, its construction required advanced engineering, including terraces to prevent landslides and seismic-resistant structures. The buildings blend seamlessly with the landscape, incorporating channels to collect and distribute rainwater. It is thought to have been abandoned due to epidemics introduced by Europeans, such as smallpox. Chimalacatalan, Mexico. The civilization that built this city or temple remains unknown, though its architecture shares similarities with Olmec structures. It featured temples, plazas, and areas dedicated to the Mesoamerican ball game. Constructed with massive stone blocks, fitted with remarkable precision, it stands out for a style rarely seen in North America. Nestled in a remote area surrounded by cliffs and dense vegetation, it may have served as a defensive site, an astronomical observatory, or a ceremonial center. Perperkon, Bulgaria. Nicknamed the Bulgarian Machu Picchu, this ancient city was carved directly into the rock. Inhabited since the Bronze Age, roughly 7,000 years ago, it remained significant through classical antiquity, the Roman era, and the Middle Ages. Many believe it housed a temple dedicated to Dionysus, where fire and wine rituals were performed. It was regarded as a center for oracles and visions, with its ceremonies shaping the city's mystical reputation. Valley of the Kings, Egypt. For 500 years, this site served as the final resting place for Egyptian pharaohs, as well as nobles and royalty. Some Egyptologists believe the pyramid-like shape of the mountain influenced its selection as a burial site. Although nearly all the tombs were looted in antiquity, they still reflect the grandeur and authority of the pharaohs. Their walls were adorned with religious symbols and texts, including passages from the Book of the Dead. Tutankhamun's tomb is the only royal burial found almost intact, containing thousands of artifacts and the famous solid gold funerary mask. After its discovery, legends of a curse arose, claiming misfortune befell those who disturbed the pharaoh's eternal rest, fueled by mysterious deaths and unexplained events. Dendera Temple, Egypt. Dedicated to Hathor, the goddess of love, this is one of the best preserved temples of ancient Egypt. Visitors first arrived around 1840, yet much of the site remained buried until 1880. Some of Egypt's most controversial and fascinating artifacts can be found here. The Hypostyle Hall draws the greatest attention. Massive columns with ornate capitals support the structure, each decorated with the face of Hathor. Both the columns and the ceiling are adorned with intricate bas-reliefs and meticulously detailed paintings. Hieroglyphic inscriptions captivate visitors, recounting myths linked to the gods. Nearby lies the Dendera Zodiac, a celestial map connecting ancient Egypt to astronomy. Descending into the underground crypt reveals the mysterious Dendera Light. A carving depicts a serpent emerging from what appears to be a bulb, leading some to speculate it represents ancient electric lamps. However, Egyptologists assert that these reliefs are rooted in mythology. The serpent symbolizes Harsamtus, the god of creation, while the bulb represents a lotus flower, a symbol of rebirth. Unfinished obelisk of Aswan, Egypt. This obelisk provides insight into the techniques ancient Egyptians used to carve and transport massive monuments. Had it been completed, it would have been the largest known obelisk, standing an estimated 42 meters, or 138 feet tall, and weighing over 1,000 tons. It is believed that a large crack in the bedrock led to its abandonment, though it remains puzzling why other sections weren't repurposed. Some suggest it was intended for the Karnak Temple or another major structure, but no definitive evidence confirms this. Colossi of Memnon, Egypt. These two towering stone statues depict Pharaoh Amenhotep III, seated on his throne, gazing toward the Nile River. Around 2,000 years ago, after an earthquake, the northern statue began emitting a mysterious sound at dawn, drawing Greeks and Romans to witness it. While ancient civilizations saw it as a supernatural event, modern researchers believe the sound resulted from a physical phenomenon. Abu Simbel, Egypt. This site consists of two monumental temples built roughly 3,300 years ago. 4 colossal statues of Ramses II dominate the facade of the larger temple. Its grand architectural design was meant to emphasize the pharaoh's divine authority. Inside, 8 massive columns depict Ramses II as the god Osiris, symbolizing eternal life. The smaller temple is dedicated to Queen Nefertari and the goddess Hathor. Upon entering, the first hall is supported by 6 columns, adorned with Hathor's face. During the 1960s, the temples were relocated to protect them from the rising waters of Lake Nasser, formed by the Aswan High Dam. Rennes-le-Château, France. In southern France, this enigmatic village has long been linked to ancient Christian treasures. Legend has it that Bérenger Saunier, the local priest from 1885 to 1917, went from a modest lifestyle to displaying sudden wealth. Some speculate he uncovered a hidden treasure tied to the Templars or the Cathars, possibly even the legendary Holy Grail. Others theorize that Saunier found evidence suggesting Jesus and Mary Magdalene had descendants. Intriguingly, the doorway of the Church of Mary Magdalene bears the inscription Terribilis est locus iste, meaning, "This place is terrifying." Adding to the mystery, a statue of the demon Asmodeus stands at the entrance of the church. Kailasa Temple, India. Carved directly into the rock, this temple is located within the Ellora Caves and dates back to the 8th century. Dedicated to the Hindu god Shiva, it is said to represent his celestial abode on Mount Kailash. Hundreds of thousands of tons of rock were removed to complete it, leaving experts baffled given the technological limitations of the time. It is believed to have been built in less than 20 years. which would have required excavating 5 tons of stone daily. Tassili N'Ajjer, Algeria. This desert is home to natural rock shelters containing thousands of prehistoric paintings, some dating back as far as 14,000 years. Over millennia, canyons, pillars, and arches have formed in this remote and rugged landscape. The paintings offer a glimpse into prehistoric life, depicting traditions, wildlife, and the shifting geography of the Sahara. Animals, like giraffes and gazelles, appear in the artwork, indicating that the Sahara was once a lush, fertile region. Some paintings feature unusual humanoid shapes. Their elongated bodies and disproportionate heads have sparked theories of extraterrestrial origins, though archaeologists argue they represent divine figures. It is believed that the great god of Sephar was either a sacred symbol or a key ritualistic expression for ancient local populations. Bimini Road, Bahamas. Beneath these Caribbean waters lies a site once speculated to be the possible location of Atlantis. Three divers discovered it in 1968, northwest of North Bimini Island. Large stone blocks appear to be arranged in a seemingly linear formation. Some theories suggest they are remnants of a forgotten civilization. However, most archaeologists maintain that their arrangement is the result of natural geological processes. Tayuna, Colombia. Also known as the Lost City, this ancient settlement was once home to thousands of members of the Tairona civilization. Reaching it requires a multi-day trek through dense jungles. It remained hidden for centuries until its rediscovery in 1972 by tomb raiders, who called it Green Hell due to the thick vegetation. Hundreds of terraces served as foundations for dwellings, all interconnected by an extensive network of pathways. Agra, Saudi Arabia. This was the second largest city of the Nabatean kingdom, surpassed only by Petra. Its architecture closely resembles that of Petra, featuring monumental tombs carved into the rock. These burial sites belonged to individuals of various social ranks, including military figures. The lonely tomb stands out due to its isolated position in the desert. Thanks to its remote location and centuries of obscurity, Hegra has remained remarkably well preserved. Petra, Jordan. The Nabateans, founders of this city, were originally a nomadic people who lived in goat hair tents. Eventually, they constructed the grand structures that stand today, though the reason behind their shift from nomadism remains unclear. It is estimated that 700,000 stone blocks were used to build Petra's streets, tombs, and monumental buildings. While the primary structures were carved from local stone, the Nabateans also imported white marble and granite columns from distant regions. An advanced hydraulic system of channels and underground cisterns allowed for gardens, crops, and even pools to thrive in the arid desert. The decline of Petra as a trade route was triggered by shifting trade routes and a devastating earthquake in 363 AD. Abandoned and forgotten for centuries, it was rediscovered by Western explorers in the 19th century. Terracotta warriors, China. These statues were crafted to accompany Emperor Qin Shi Huang into the afterlife. Discovered in 1974 near Xi'an by local farmers digging a well, their unearthing was a major archaeological breakthrough. Around 8,000 warrior figures stand alongside hundreds of horses. Each statue has distinct facial features, suggesting they may have been modeled after real individuals. Persepolis, Iran. This city served as the capital of the Persian Empire, built under the rule of King Darius I. It functioned as an imperial center for grand ceremonies and official rituals. Its artwork features reliefs influenced by Assyrian, Egyptian, and Median styles. These carvings depict delegations from various regions presenting tributes, reflecting the empire's vast cultural diversity. The Gate of All Nations, the central entrance, is guarded by massive winged bulls. These figures symbolize protective beings, standing watch over the ceremonial complex. Following the arrival of Alexander the Great, a devastating fire consumed the city, leaving historians uncertain whether it was an accident or an act of retribution, marking the end of Persian supremacy. Naqsha Rostam, Iran. Near Persepolis, this site preserves a series of tombs belonging to Persian kings, such as Xerxes and Darius. Carved into the rock face, the tombs resemble the facade of a grand palace. At the base, reliefs depict victorious military campaigns. In front of the tombs stands an unusual tower-like structure, known as the Kaaba-ya Zartosht, Cube of Zoroaster, whose true purpose remains a mystery. Tikal, Guatemala. Hidden deep within the dense Petén jungle, its natural isolation has helped preserve its ruins. One of the great Maya cities, its origin and rise to power remain largely unknown. The temples and pyramids exhibit remarkable architectural sophistication and exceptional urban planning. The Maya designed their temples to align with celestial events, such as solstices and equinoxes. Around 2,000 years ago, Tikal mysteriously began to decline, with theories suggesting overpopulation, resource depletion, or internal conflicts as possible causes. Gualaman Pyramids, Ecuador. Discovering hidden pyramids in the Andes Mountains is an extraordinary find. This is one of the least excavated archaeological sites in the Americas, linked to the Quitu-Cara culture. Studies have been conducted in the area since the 1970s, yet much remains unexplored. The pyramids are estimated to be around 3,500 years old, with evidence suggesting thousands of people once inhabited the region. They likely served ceremonial purposes or functioned as burial sites. Some may have been used as platforms to support the dwellings of the local elite. Utah petroglyphs, United States. Various cultures in this region used rock art to express their religious beliefs. In 9 Mile Canyon, the petroglyphs of the Fremont culture stand out, created by its people around 700 years ago. The Navajo and Ute, indigenous groups that still exist today, later discovered these ancient carvings. Canyonlands National Park holds additional petroglyphs from the Fremont people, as well as the ancestral Puebloans, Anasazi. They are believed to depict ceremonial scenes or spiritual leaders. Even so, the exact meaning of many symbols remains uncertain. The petroglyphs of Sego Canyon, also in Utah, appear even more mysterious. They are at least 1,300 years old. They are enormous and enigmatic figures in human form. These carvings are distinguished by hollow eyes, elongated bodies, and the absence of arms or legs. The prevailing theory suggests they represent shamanic visions or supernatural beings. Atlantean warriors of Tula, Mexico. These towering statues stand in the ancient Toltec city of Tula. They showcase exceptional artistic craftsmanship, featuring intricate clothing, weaponry, and body adornments. It is believed they once served as columns supporting the roof of a temple, though their exact function remains debated. The Toltec civilization left few written records, and much of what is known comes from the Aztecs, who regarded them as a foundational culture. Nanmadol, Micronesia. This remarkable ancient city was built in the middle of the ocean. It consists of 92 artificial islands constructed from stone and coral. Once the capital of the Sadalar dynasty, it was abandoned in the early 15th century, possibly due to population decline or logistical challenges. The structures and islands are composed of massive stone blocks, some weighing up to 50 tons. According to legend, the city was built by twin sorcerers who used a flying dragon to transport the enormous stones. Mohenjo-Daro, Pakistan. This ancient city belonged to the Indus Valley Civilization. Built approximately 4,500 years ago, it is regarded as one of the earliest planned cities in human history. Its layout followed a grid system with straight streets and uniformly sized brick buildings, an architectural breakthrough for its time. The reason behind the disappearance of this advanced civilization remains unknown, though theories suggest droughts or flooding played a role. Harappa, Pakistan. One of the major cities of the Indus Valley Civilization, it flourished as a key cultural and economic center. Established around 4,500 years ago, It endured for nearly 2 millennia. The Harappan script, found on numerous artifacts, has yet to be deciphered, making it difficult to fully understand their way of life. Despite this, evidence suggests they were a peaceful society with advanced skills in metallurgy. Lamentation Wall, Israel. These are the remains of the Second Temple of Jerusalem, which was destroyed by the Romans in 70 AD. Jewish people from around the world visit to pray, leave written petitions between the stones, and reflect on the loss of this sacred temple. It is a tradition to place small notes with prayers or requests in the cracks, which are later collected and buried on the Mount of Olives twice a year. Over the centuries, the site has been under the control of various empires, from the Ottoman to the British. Karnak, France. This site contains the world's largest concentration of prehistoric monuments, with thousands of stones arranged in long alignments stretching across vast areas. They were placed during the Neolithic period, around 6,000 years ago. The tallest monolith is the Giant of Manio, standing at 6.5 meters, or 21 feet. The reason for their alignment remains unknown, though many believe they served as a place for worship or ceremonial gatherings. Devil's Bridge, Germany. Built in the 19th century, this bridge was designed to form a perfect circle when reflected in the waters of the Rakots River. Its eerie symmetry creates the illusion of a mystical portal to another world. According to legend, an architect struck a deal with the devil, promising him the soul of the first creature to cross the bridge. Once completed, the architect tricked the devil by sending a dog across first. Furious, the devil vanished, but his presence is said to linger in the area. La Venta, Mexico. This city was built by the Olmecs, considered one of the earliest civilizations in North America, and often referred to as the Mother Culture. Some iconic Olmec colossal heads were discovered here, massive stone sculptures with distinct facial features, weighing up to 40 tons. Most archaeologists agree that these statues represent Olmec rulers. One particular sculpture, known as La Abuela, follows the characteristic Olmec style and may symbolize an ancestor or a figure of wisdom. Lamanai, Belize. One of the few Maya settlements with continuous occupation, It thrived for nearly 3,500 years until the 17th century. Hidden in the jungle for centuries, it was first explored in 1917 by British physician and archaeologist Thomas Gunn. Due to the dense vegetation surrounding the area, access is most commonly by boat. The Jaguar Temple, Lamanai's main structure, stands as one of the most remarkable achievements of Maya architecture. At the base of its staircase, 2 large masks are carved into the stone. These figures are believed to represent Maya deities tasked with protecting the city. Lovelock Cave, United States. Humans inhabited this cave as early as 4,500 years ago. In 1911, 2 miners searching for guano to use as fertilizer stumbled upon ancient artifacts while excavating. Among the discoveries were human remains, including mummies with reddish hair and a height of 1.98 meters, 6.6 feet, which some linked to legends of cannibalistic giants. While the cave primarily served as a shelter, certain artifacts suggest it may have also held ritual significance. Tiwanaku, Bolivia. Near Lake Titicaca, this ancient city was the center of a powerful civilization that predated the Incas. Massive structures, such as the Gate of the Sun, exhibit remarkable precision in their cuts and joints. Despite the impressive legacy of the Tiwanaku civilization, no written records explain their culture, technology, or religious beliefs. How they erected these colossal monoliths remains uncertain, especially given that they lacked wheels or draft animals. Some stones appear to have been designed with interlocking joints, resembling a puzzle, showcasing an advanced understanding of engineering. Xiashui Buddha, China. Hidden in the mountains of the Chinese village of Xiashui lies one of Asia's enduring enigmas. The local government discovered this Buddha face, which remains partially concealed by the forest. Unlike the famous giant Buddha of Leshan, little is known about its origins. The carving was started in the rock, yet, after 1,000 years, it was never completed. Uluru, Australia. For the Aboriginal peoples of the region, this sacred site plays a key role in creation stories, where ancestral beings shaped the land and left their marks. rising abruptly from the terrain. It stands 348 meters, or 1,140 feet tall. According to legend, ancient serpent men fought here, leaving visible scars, with Uluru itself being one of them. Formed around 550 million years ago, what is seen above ground is only a small fraction, as most of its structure lies beneath the surface. Its color shifts throughout the day, and, depending on the weather, creating an almost supernatural atmosphere. Dara, Turkey. One of the key cities of the Byzantine Empire, in Mesopotamia, it flourished between the 6th and 7th centuries. Originally built as a fortress to defend the empire's borders, it was later abandoned and rediscovered by archaeologists in the 20th century. Tunnels connected different sections of the city, allowing residents to move and store supplies during sieges. Some underground structures are believed to have served as storage facilities, ensuring survival during times of conflict. Moray, Peru. After being abandoned following the Spanish conquest, it was rediscovered in 1932 by a pilot flying over the area. These circular terraces are believed to have functioned as an agricultural research center for crop adaptation. Each level exhibits distinct temperature and humidity conditions, allowing the Incas to study plant growth in simulated climates. Since the Incas left no written records on Moray's construction, how they calculated these specific microclimates remains unknown. Glastonbury, United Kingdom. Believed to have inspired the legendary island of Avalon, this site is deeply tied to the tales of King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. According to medieval legend, the tombs of King Arthur and Queen Guinevere were discovered at Glastonbury Abbey. Glastonbury Tor, a prominent hill, is crowned by the ruins of St. Michael's Tower, a location rich in symbolic energy. Many believe this site lies at the intersection of Earth's energy lines, possibly serving as a portal to other dimensions. Crooked Forest, Poland. Each tree in this forest has a nearly identical curvature at the base, creating the illusion that something forced them to grow in a J shape. To this day, no widely accepted scientific explanation exists for the origin of these unusual bends. One theory suggests they were deliberately shaped in the 1930s or 1940s, possibly for harvesting wood with a specific curve, Another possibility is that heavy snowfall, a storm, or unusual climatic event caused the deformation. Some speculate a pest infestation or even gravitational anomalies in the area, though no single explanation has been fully proven. Mycenae, Greece. Once thought to be a mythical city, it was rediscovered in 1876 by a German archaeologist. Flourishing during the Bronze Age, it became the heart of Mycenaean civilization, a pivotal era in Greek history. Its grand architecture and royal tombs inspired myths in Homer's Iliad and Odyssey. The city is traditionally associated with King Agamemnon, the legendary leader of the Greek expedition against Troy. Its massive walls were called Cyclopean, as ancient Greeks believed they were built by the mythical Cyclops. Beyond the ruins lies the treasury of Atreus, a monumental tomb, often attributed to Agamemnon. Orlovi Skali, Bulgaria. This site features a series of rock-carved niches dating back to the era of the ancient Thracians. Their purpose was likely religious or ritualistic, though their exact origin remains under study. Some theories suggest they were used to hold offerings, cremated remains, or other symbolic objects. Another possibility is that they functioned as territorial markers, signifying a group's control over a specific region. Poenari Castle, Romania. Originally built in the 13th century by the rulers of Wallachia, this fortress was later restored and strengthened in the 15th century by Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad Dracula. Dracula used it as his last line of defense against the Ottomans, taking advantage of its nearly impenetrable location. He gained a fearsome reputation by executing traitors and enemies through impalement. Legends speak of mysterious apparitions and unexplained noises within the ruins, attracting paranormal enthusiasts. Bardzia, Georgia. This remarkable medieval monastery was carved into the cliffs of Mount Erusheti. Initially designed as a fortress, it later became a monastery under the patronage of Queen Tamar, the first female ruler of Georgia. Its complex includes tunnels, churches, wine cellars, living quarters, libraries, and an underground irrigation system. In 1283, a powerful earthquake caused sections of the structure to collapse, exposing hidden chambers and passageways. Roslyn Chapel, United Kingdom. Built by William Sinclair in the 15th century, this chapel has fueled legends, research, and speculation for centuries. The Sinclair family is believed to have ties to the Knights Templar, leading to the theories that relics such as the Holy Grail or the Scrolls of Solomon's Temple may be hidden within. Some accounts even suggest that the Ark of the Covenant is concealed in a secret chamber. Certain carvings feature Masonic symbols, reinforcing the idea of a connection between the chapel and Freemasonry. Great Pyramid of Cholula, Mexico. In terms of volume, no other pyramid in the world surpasses the one buried beneath this church. The Olmeca Xicalanco people are often credited with its initial construction, though there is no clear consensus on which culture began building it. It was developed in phases over centuries, with each new civilization adding layers atop the existing structure. In the 16th century, Spanish conquerors erected the Sanctuary of Our Lady of Remedies on the pyramid's summit. Sumela Monastery, Turkey. Built into a cliffside, this monastery appears almost inaccessible. According to legend, two Greek monks decided to establish it after both had dreams of the Virgin Mary. The specific location was chosen when they saw a miraculous image of the Virgin on a rock. Despite the Ottoman conquest in 1461, the monastery was preserved and granted special privileges, becoming a major pilgrimage site. Woodhenge, United Kingdom. Located near Stonehenge, this prehistoric site consists of wooden posts arranged in concentric circles. It is believed to have had a complementary role to Stonehenge, possibly forming part of a larger ritual complex. Unlike its famous neighbor, it did not use massive stones, but rather wood, which may have symbolized life and nature. The wooden posts decayed thousands of years ago, leaving only holes in the ground as traces of their presence. Plain of Jars, Laos. Scattered across the landscape, thousands of massive stone jars, some weighing up to 30 tons, stand as remnants of an ancient culture. The leading theories suggest they were used as burial containers or for storing food supplies. Local legend tells of a giant named Kung Chung, who created the jars to hold rice wine after a great military victory. Devil's Humps, United Kingdom. This group of prehistoric monuments is believed to have been dedicated to the worship of the dead. Its name originates from local legends, claiming they were either created by the devil or once served as his dwelling. No written records have been found to explain who built them, or for what purpose. Magnetic Hill of Ladakh, India. Towering mountain landscapes and Buddhist monasteries define this region's unique character. On a particular stretch of road, vehicles in neutral appear to roll uphill. However, this phenomenon is merely an optical illusion caused by the terrain, the road slope, and the absence of clear visual references. Black Forest, Germany. Its name stems from the dark appearance of its dense woods, where sunlight struggles to penetrate. In the early morning, thick fog blankets the region, creating an eerie and mysterious atmosphere. The Brothers Grimm drew inspiration from these forests for their fairy tales, and reports of strange lights, noises, and an unsettling presence persist to this day. Centuries ago, the Black Forest was believed to be a refuge for werewolves. Stories spoke of a cursed farmer who transformed into a wolf under the moon. A ghostly figure, the Phantom Rider, is said to roam the lonely paths at night. Legend claims he is the restless soul of a soldier who perished in an ambush. San Agustin, Colombia. The civilization that created these sculptures flourished between the 1st and 8th centuries, yet little is known about its origins. Hundreds of stone statues and carvings depict human and animal-like figures. Many feature symbols that seem to represent religious or cosmological concepts, with some blending human traits with jaguar characteristics. They may have been depictions of deities, though the meaning behind their details and expressions remains uncertain. By the 8th century, this culture mysteriously vanished, possibly due to internal conflicts or invasions. Sedona, United States. This city is renowned for supposed energy vortexes, where the Earth's force is said to be especially strong. Amid striking red and orange rock formations, whose colors shift with the changing light, the landscape exudes an almost otherworldly atmosphere. Surrounded by mysticism, these vortexes are believed to be portals for spiritual renewal, creativity, and deeper meditation. Visitors report experiences of erratic compass readings, unusual lights, and an overwhelming sense of peace. Its remote setting and clear skies make it an ideal location for stargazing. Yet, it has also been the site of numerous UFO sightings. Callanish Stones, United Kingdom. Erected around 5,000 years ago, this stunning megalithic circle stands on Scotland's Outer Hebrides. Its exact purpose remains unknown, though it may have functioned as a celestial observatory or a sacred site. The design follows an ancient enigmatic practice, featuring a central circle with a cross-shaped alignment extending northward. The positioning of the stones suggests a strong connection to the moon, raising the possibility that the builders worshipped it or performed ceremonies linked to its cycle. Loch Ness, United Kingdom. The natural beauty of this site is undeniable, though its global fame comes from the legend of the Loch Ness Monster known as Nessie. The earliest reference to a mysterious creature dates back to the 6th century, when a saint was said to have saved a man from an aquatic beast. Dark waters define the lake, their murky appearance caused by abundant organic material from the surrounding terrain. Several scientific expeditions have explored the depths using sonar, submarines, and underwater cameras. Yet, no trace of Nessie has ever been found. Door to Hell, Turkmenistan. The origins of this massive crater remain a mystery, with key documents either classified or difficult to access. Some local experts claim it collapsed in the 1960s and was set on fire in the 1980s to reduce the release of toxic gases. Others argue that Soviet engineers drilled the site for oil in 1971, only for it to cave in a few days later. Believing they could control the emission of harmful gases, they ignited the pit, underestimating the sheer volume of fuel beneath. Krakus Mound, Poland. Tradition holds that this mound is the burial site of King Krakus, the legendary founder of Krakow, though no human remains have been found inside. Its original purpose remains undetermined, but some believe it was used for astronomical observations. At sunrise during Beltane, an ancient festival, the sun aligns perfectly with the mound's peak. Chehel Burj, Afghanistan. In Persian, Chehel means 40, and Burj translates to tower, giving rise to the name Tower of the 40 Columns. In Islamic culture, the number 40 symbolizes spirituality and contemplation, suggesting the site may have had a mystical purpose. Some historians believe it served as a watchtower, while others argue it functioned as a ceremonial site for a defensive structure. Monte dei Accodi, Italy. Situated on the island of Sardinia, this stone platform may have been a temple or a stepped pyramid. It was built by the Ozieri culture around 5,000 years ago. The structure's tiered design resembles Mesopotamian ziggurats, sparking theories of possible connections between ancient civilizations. Some suggest it was an altar for sacrifices, while others believe it functioned as an astronomical observatory or a fertility sanctuary. Bradbury Rings, United Kingdom. Dating back to the Iron Age, this site was likely a hill fort. Its concentric rings created multiple layers of defense, forcing attackers to breach several barriers before reaching the center. According to legend, it may have been the location of the Battle of Mount Badon, where King Arthur is said to have defeated the Saxons. Gordium, Turkey. This ancient city is famed for its ties to the legendary King Midas, who is believed to have ruled around 2,700 years ago. Though Midas is surrounded by myth, historical evidence supports the existence of a ruler by that name. For years, a grand burial mound was thought to be his tomb, but it is now believed to belong to his father, Gordius. Dunangus, Ireland. Perched atop a cliff on the Aran Islands, this ancient stone fortress has stood for centuries. Originally oval-shaped, parts of the fort and the cliff itself have collapsed into the sea over time. Built by the early Celts, it remained in use until roughly 2,000 years ago. Its original purpose is unclear, though it may have served as a stronghold, a royal residence, or a ceremonial sanctuary. Richat structure, Mauritania. Known as the Eye of the Sahara, this remarkable geological formation lies deep within the desert. Astronauts from NASA's Gemini program first documented it in the 1960s, describing it as a massive eye staring up from the Earth. Its near-perfect symmetry has inspired numerous theories, ranging from impact craters to speculative connections with Atlantis. However, scientific research confirms that it is a natural feature, shaped over millions of years by erosion wearing away layers of rock. Newgrange, Ireland. Built by prehistoric communities around 5,000 years ago, this ancient structure stands as a testament to early engineering. The project required transporting stones weighing up to 20 tons from distant locations, indicating a highly organized society. Nearby Noath, constructed in the same area, was in use for millennia, likely serving as a burial site, ritual space, and astronomical marker. Encircled by 17 smaller structures, it formed part of a broader complex linked to ceremonial and spiritual practices. Hill of Tara, Ireland. During the Iron Age and beyond, this site served as the political and spiritual heart of Ireland. Irish mythology describes it as the location where the High Kings of Ireland were crowned. While believed to have hosted various ceremonies, the exact nature of the rituals performed here remains uncertain. Huiquilco, Mexico. For 2,500 years, its circular, stepped design has set it apart as a unique architectural achievement. This was one of the foremost religious and astronomical centers in the region, possibly predating Teotihuacan. 1,000 years ago, the eruption of Xitle buried the city beneath lava, concealing it until its rediscovery in the 1920s. Uffington Whitehorse, United Kingdom. Estimated to be around 3,500 years old, this ancient figure remains one of Britain's most enigmatic landmarks. Its true meaning is unknown. Some believe it depicts a real horse, while others suggest a Celtic deity or a tribal emblem. Visible only from a distance or the sky, its precise creation raises questions about how it was designed without an aerial perspective. A long-standing tradition ensures the figures remain uncovered by grass, preserving its form through generations. Tinkins Wood, United Kingdom. This prehistoric monument was erected roughly 6,000 years ago. The discovery of human remains from at least 50 individuals suggests it was likely used as a burial site. Its massive capstone weighs 40 tons, requiring an estimated 200 people to lift it into place. Almendres Stone Circle, Portugal. Comprising around 95 prehistoric monuments, some standing as tall as 3 meters or 10 feet. This site is one of Europe's oldest megalithic complexes. Over millennia, it evolved and expanded, adapting to the beliefs and needs of the civilizations that built it. Several stones are adorned with symbols, possibly linked to rituals or cosmological traditions of prehistoric societies. The alignment of the stones may have also functioned as an agricultural calendar, marking the changing seasons. Stone Spheres, Costa Rica. This collection of indigenous stone sculptures is renowned for its nearly perfect spherical shape. Some reach up to 2 meters or 6 feet in diameter and weigh various tons. Created by the ancient Dikwi culture, these artifacts remain a significant part of the region's history. Their purpose is believed to have been ritualistic or social, possibly marking the status of the communities that used them. Hohenzollern Castle, Germany. Once home to the Hohenzollern dynasty, from which the kings of Prussia and emperors of Germany emerged. This fortress holds deep historical significance. Rising dramatically above its surroundings, it exudes a mystical presence. Local legends speak of a spectral woman in white, wandering the halls, said to protect the castle. Gilgal Rephaim, Israel. Located in the Golan Heights, its Hebrew name translates to Circle of the Giants. The site consists of 42,000 tons of stone, arranged in 5 massive concentric circles. Its true function remains uncertain. Some theories suggest it was used for rituals, astronomical observations, burials, or a combination of these. Stories link the site to the Rephaim, a mysterious race of biblical giants. Choqquequirao, Peru. Some historians believe this was one of the final Inca strongholds before the empire's collapse. Larger than Machu Picchu, only a small portion has been explored so far. There are no roads or trains leading to the site. Reaching it requires a strenuous, multi-day trek through the mountains. Edinburgh Castle, Scotland. For over 1,000 years, this fortress has witnessed countless battles and sieges, leaving behind stories of unexplained phenomena. Visitors and staff report sightings of ghostly figures, including a headless drummer, a weeping woman, and former prisoners of war. A complex network of underground tunnels and chambers lies beneath the castle, with some areas yet to be fully explored. One legend tells of a piper who ventured into the tunnels and vanished, leaving behind the eerie sound of bagpipes that some claim to hear to this day. Çavuştepe Castle, Turkey. Perched on a hilltop, this fortress has stood for approximately 2,800 years. Built by the Kingdom of Urartu, it was constructed using massive stone blocks fitted with remarkable precision. The Urartians developed advanced hydraulic and storage systems, a surprising feat given the region's mountainous and arid conditions. Dunatar Castle, United Kingdom. Perched on a cliff along Scotland's northeastern coast, this fortress is surrounded by the sea and accessible only by a narrow path. In the 17th century, the Covenanters, a Scottish religious group, were imprisoned here, with many perishing under horrific conditions. Legends speak of the Green Lady, a spectral figure wandering the ruins in search of something lost, perhaps jewels or ancient relics. Poveglia, Italy. Often dubbed the most haunted island in the world, its history is filled with tales of human suffering and eerie occurrences. During outbreaks of the Black Plague, it served as a quarantine site for the infected. In 1922, its buildings were converted into a psychiatric hospital, where a doctor allegedly conducted lobotomies and other cruel experiments on patients. Today, visits to the island are prohibited due to its abandonment and the dangers posed by its crumbling structures. Karahanj, Armenia. This ancient site consists of hundreds of volcanic stones, many featuring small circular holes. Their arrangement appears to align with the sun, moon, and stars, suggesting it may have functioned as an observatory or astronomical calendar. The name Karahanj refers to the echoes produced among the stones, a phenomenon that might have held ritual significance. Tomgali Petroglyphs, Kazakhstan. Located in a rugged canyon, this site spans both valleys and low mountains. The rock carvings depict cultural traditions of the region's nomadic civilizations. Solar discs and anthropomorphic figures have been linked to spiritual ceremonies or sun-related rituals. Created over thousands of years and influenced by various cultures, the petroglyphs remain challenging to associate with a single civilization or fully decipher. Ani, Turkey. During the 10th century, this city flourished as the capital of the medieval Armenian Bagratid Kingdom, thriving as a key trade hub along the Silk Road. Its towering walls were built to safeguard its wealth, with sections still standing today. At its peak, Ani was home to numerous churches and monasteries. Mongol invasions in the 13th century marked the beginning of its decline, and a devastating earthquake in the early 14th century led to its abandonment. Valley of the Monoliths, Indonesia. This valley is home to mysterious prehistoric statues, set against a backdrop of mountains, jungles, and rivers. The creators and purpose of these figures remain unknown, as the island's present-day cultures have no written records. Some researchers suggest a connection with other Southeast Asian civilizations, though no definitive evidence has been found. Bamiyan, Afghanistan. Once a key stop along the ancient Silk Road, this historic region lies in the heart of the Bamiyan Valley. It was home to the world's largest Buddhas, serving as a major pilgrimage site for monks and traders. In 2001, the Taliban used explosives to destroy these statues, claiming they were idols. Despite their destruction, they remain a powerful symbol of cultural and spiritual heritage. Surrounding the area, hundreds of caves once served as monastic dwellings. Olympus, Turkey. The ruins of this ancient city lie in a valley nestled between the Mediterranean Sea and the Taurus Mountains. Although nearly abandoned in the Middle Ages, its remains still echo its former grandeur. It became a haven for pirates who took advantage of its mountainous terrain and coastal location to raid nearby cities. Scattered among dense forests and a flowing river, the ruins create a setting where history merges with nature. Massive sarcophagi indicate they belonged to wealthy individuals, though their identities remain a mystery. Pinyara, Turkey. A major city in the ancient Lycian state, Pinyara held significant influence in the region. Its remarkable tombs were carved directly into the cliffs. Their elevated position was believed to guide the deceased on their journey to the afterlife. To the south, near the village of Kas, lies an especially striking tomb. This burial site was meticulously chiseled into the center of a sheer rock face. Gunung Padang, Indonesia. Some researchers claim this prehistoric site is the world's oldest known pyramid. First documented by a Dutch explorer in 1914, it faded into obscurity until 1979, when local farmers reported archaeological remains. With an estimated age exceeding 10,000 years, it could be one of the most ancient structures ever discovered. Despite being located in a tropical climate where stone is prone to erosion, the site has remained in relatively good condition. Malinalco, Mexico. This site served as a crucial military stronghold for the Aztec Empire. It was likely a place for warrior initiation ceremonies. The main structure was carved from a single massive block of stone. However, the reason the Aztecs chose such an inaccessible location remains a mystery. Perched on the edge of a cliff, dense jungle surrounds it. Meroe Pyramids, Sudan. These structures belonged to the Kushite civilization, serving as royal and noble tombs. While influenced by Egyptian pyramids, they developed a distinct style, smaller in scale with steeply sloped sides. One of the first Europeans to document them was Italian treasure hunter Giuseppe Ferlini in 1834. Unfortunately, in his relentless search for artifacts, he partially destroyed many of these pyramids. Maras Salt Mines, Peru. Spanning the mountainside, thousands of evaporation ponds are arranged in terraces. During dry seasons, they are filled with salt water, sourced from a natural spring. This intricate system of channels and pools, designed to guide the water using gravity, dates back to pre-Inca or Inca times and remains virtually unchanged. For generations, knowledge of how to manage, distribute, and harvest the salt has been passed down orally. Lake Baikal, Russia. Recognized as the deepest and oldest freshwater lake in the world, it holds a unique place in Earth's geography. Estimated to be around 25 million years old, its longevity is attributed to ongoing tectonic activity and geographic isolation. It contains roughly 20% of the planet's unfrozen freshwater supply. Legends speak of mysterious underwater lights, unidentified objects, and strange submerged formations. Thousands of plant and animal species thrive here, including the Nerpa. This freshwater seal is one of the very few of its kind, and the only one that permanently inhabits a lake. Hoia Baciu Forest, Romania. Often compared to a land-based Bermuda Triangle, this forest is known for strange magnetic anomalies and unexplained lights. Visitors have reported seeing mysterious glowing orbs, humanoid silhouettes, dense fog, and eerie sounds. During the 1960s, alleged sightings of unidentified flying objects were documented in the area. Many associate the forest with an overwhelming sensation of being watched, as well as an unexplained feeling of unease. Mount Shasta, United States. Despite being an inactive volcano, this mountain has long been surrounded by mystery. One legend claims it harbors a hidden civilization descended from Lemuria, a lost land. For the Klamath and other indigenous tribes, it is the dwelling place of Chief Skell, a powerful spirit who descended from the sky. Eyolf Stones, Sweden. This prehistoric structure is shaped like a massive stone ship. Some theories suggest it was a burial monument from the Iron Age, while others propose it served as an astronomical site or a calendar. Research indicates the stones align with lunar cycles, particularly the lunar standstills, a phenomenon that occurs every 18 years. Pavlopetri, Greece. Recognized as the world's oldest known submerged city, it dates back around 5,000 years. Some studies suggest its flooding may have been caused by rising sea levels, seismic activity, or a combination of natural events. The city features an organized layout of streets, houses, and tombs, demonstrating a remarkably advanced level of urban planning. Carajilla, Peru. These striking anthropomorphic sarcophagi contain the remains of leaders or high-status individuals. Some are topped with human skulls, adding to their enigmatic appearance. How the Quaylop culture managed to construct and position them on the cliffs remains an unanswered mystery. Alatri, Italy. The city's walls were built using massive stone blocks fitted together with extraordinary precision. Some experts attribute them to pre-Roman populations of the region, while others suggest Etruscan influence or an even older origin. Although their military function is evident, the layout and monumental gates have led to speculation about possible religious or astronomical significance. Sildbury Hill, United Kingdom. It is the largest prehistoric artificial mound in Europe. It was expanded over several generations, probably involving different communities. Its purpose remains unknown, but folklore claims it is the burial site of a king named Sil, said to rest alongside a golden horse. Maree Man, Australia. One of the largest geoglyphs in the world, this colossal figure sketches 4.2 kilometers or 2.6 miles in length with a perimeter of 28 kilometers or 17 miles. Its creator is a mystery, and although it has an ancient appearance, the lack of archaeological evidence suggests it is a modern creation. Devil's Tower, United States. Formed roughly 50 million years ago, this geological wonder consists of vertical columns of volcanic rock. Many indigenous American cultures refer to it as Bear Lodge, a name linked to the region's significant bear population. The name Devil's Tower originated from a mistranslation by European settlers. Its natural origin, magma that cooled and solidified underground, contrasts with its striking, isolated appearance, making it seem almost out of place in the landscape. Cabal Speen, Cambodia. Known as the Valley of 1,000 Lingas, this site is a significant remnant of the Khmer Empire. The riverbed is adorned with carvings from Hindu mythology, with a particular focus on the god Shiva. These engravings date back to the reign of King Udyaditya Varman II, who is believed to have redirected the river's flow to allow artisans to carve the lingas directly into its bed. At the time, it was thought that these symbols would bless the water, enhancing the fertility of the rice fields downstream. Ring of Brodgar, United Kingdom. Located in the Orkney Islands, this prehistoric stone circle is surrounded by a ditch. Carved using primitive tools, it may have served both astronomical and religious purposes. Its design allowed for tracking solar and lunar cycles, showcasing the advanced astronomical knowledge of its builders. Gamsudul, Russia. Resembling a ghost town, this ancient settlement is believed to be around 2,000 years old. Built atop a mountain, it offers breathtaking views of the Caucasus Range. At its peak, Gamsudul was a thriving village, home to hundreds of residents living in stone houses perched on the cliffs. By the 2010s, its last remaining inhabitant had passed away, leaving the village completely abandoned. We have reached the end of this journey, but the world remains filled with wonders and mysteries waiting to be explored. Until the next adventure.